Hello and welcome to HSM 215. For this class, we will be looking at data presentation 2. So there are a couple of learning objectives for this class. The first is that by the end of it, you should be able to sort and filter data sets in Google Sheets as well as Excel. And the second objective is to enable you guys to be able to create pivot tables from a data set in Google Sheets and in Excel. And then lastly, you should be able to, by the end of this class, be able to present and interpret the results of your pivot tables in Google Sheets. This is just Google Sheet. For the third objective, much of what happens here in Google Sheet is exactly almost replica with what happens in Excel. So that's why I'm not repeating the action in Excel. So for the third objective, we are just going to focus on Google Sheets. So for this class, for this lecture, I'm going to do it in the same way that I did with data presentation 1, whereby there are individual lectures that are embedded in the slides, and these the individual lectures are covering specific learning objectives. And the reason I did it this way is because this is a very practical class and I have to take you guys through step by step how to perform these activities, and that can be quite time consuming. So instead of doing one full lecture that is going to be quite very long, I just decided to break it into individual objectives so that this way you can always, it's easier for you to go back for each objectives and go and check if there's anything that you are missing up in that. So for the first objective, we are dealing with sorting and filtering, and we are using this data set called healthcare insurance coverage. And the question that this data set out to answer is, in Hammond, what is the socioeconomic distribution of adequate healthcare insurance? And there are 10 variables altogether. Five of the variables are focused on the socioeconomic factor aspects of this question, while 5 of it is focused on the healthcare insurance aspect of it. And this is the video for this objective, so you can watch it and try to follow through what it is. This first video is looking at sorting, just on sorting, while the second video is focused on filtering. And then for the second objectives, we are looking at pivot tables, and we are also using the same data set that we used for the first objective, which is still the healthcare insurance coverage. But for this objective, we've taken this research question, the full one that has to do with in Hammond, what is the socioeconomic distribution of adequate healthcare insurance? So what I've now done for it is kind of create sub questions of this main question in order to be able to dig through the data set a little bit more. So this is what this is what that is, and this is the lecture for that looks at how to create the pivot table for these two sub questions. And then lastly, we do with the third objectives. In this case, we are interpreting the data sets that are from these two sub questions. So and this is the video, the lecture video for it, and this is the table for the first pivot table that was created that looked at average out-of-pocket spending by race and educational level. And this is the second pivot table that was created with the question of, trying to find out what the average out-of-pocket spending by healthcare insurance type and coverage adequacy. So that's the end of the class. That's the end of the lecture. So please watch the individual lectures that have all been embedded into this PowerPoint slide so that you can get a good sense of everything. And of course, please ask questions if there's any parts of the lectures that do not make that don't quite make sense to you, or you would prefer a clarification, further clarification on that, as well as ask any questions that may be related to you being able to complete your assignments. So do have a lovely day, and bye.